Good day everyone, you're welcome back to this channel. What in today's video I'll be sharing with you how to make box pleated skirt with side pockets. So that is what I will be sharing with you this today, and I hope you will like this. So let's get started. Now I have the fabric right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to show you what will be needed in terms of the measurement of this skirt. So I will be needing, what will be needed are the length. The length of the skirt is 28 inches. Now I have the hip to be 35 inches and the waist 26 inches. So these are the measurements of the skirt. So right now we are going to start. Now the first thing I will be doing, because the front panel is going to be the box pleated one, while the back piece is going to be an hairline shape. So the first thing I will be doing right now is to cut the back piece. So right now I'm going to fold this into two. So I'm going to work with the hip. The hip, like I said, is 35 inches. So 35 inches divided by 4 will give me 8¾ or 8.75 inches. So I'm from the edge here, I'm going to come down by 6.5 inches. So this line marks my hip line. So I will just go ahead and connect these lines together, coming down by 6.5 inches. So I'm going to connect these lines together. So as you can see, having connected the lines together, of course, this is my waistline, this is the hip line, and the down part also. So the next thing I will be doing right now is to impute the hip circumference. I say 35 divided by 4 will give me 8¾ inches, and I have 8¾ inches right here. So plus 3/4 inch for the seam allowance. 3/4 inch is okay by me. I'm going to, you could use 1 inch, you could even use half an inch, but I will be using 3/4 of an inch. So right now, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to extend what I mark on this hip line. I'm going to go to the waistline and mark exactly. So I have here, I have the total of 9¾ inches. So I'm going to go ahead and just mark 9½ inches. So I'm going to go and mark 9½ inches on the waistline. So right now, coming to the down part, whatever I have on the hip line, I'm going to add extra 3 inches to it. So like in this case, I have 9¾ inches. So by the time I add 3 inches to 9¾ I will be having 12¾ So I move down to the down part. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to quickly remove the length of the skirt. Now this skirt is going to have a band, and I will be using 1.5 inches as the band width. So you can see the way I place it. It means the 1.5 inches has been deducted. So from there, I'm going to mark my 28 inches. and the 28 inches, I have it right here. So I have it right here. So I'm going to mark. Here is it, 28 inches. Now I'm going to add 1 inch as my hem allowance. 1 inch. So the next thing is just to connect this line horizontally. So I connect the lines together. So I make a straight line here. So having done that, so I can now impute what I want to extend from the hip line to the down part. I said 9 3/4 plus 3 inches will give me 12 3/4. So I will just go down to this place and mark 12 3/4. So it's because I don't want to waste the I wouldn't want to waste the fabric. So you just mark the exact amount you need. So I have the 12 3/4 right here. So it's okay like this. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, sorry, is here. So the next thing I'm going to do now, right now, is to connect from this point, okay, to the hip and to the waist. So I will connect first from the hip line here to the waist. After that, I will extend it downwards to the down part. Can you see? So I will just go ahead and extend to the down part. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut it out. And lest I forget, that of the waist side conference, or what I've marked on the waist side, the dart allowance is inclusive. So after cutting it, I'm going to mark the dart allowance. So here is it. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, from this center back, I'm going to mark the dart. So I will just go ahead and mark 4 inches here. So from this dart leg, I'm going to mark half an inch right on my left hand side and half an inch on my right hand side. Okay, so right now from there, I'm going to make, from this center line, I will first mark 5 inches downwards. Then I can now connect this to this and this to this. So, and that is going to be my dart allowance. So I will just go ahead and connect. I will also do likewise to the other side here. So this is going to be the dart, and this dart will also be repeated here too. Okay, exactly what I did here. So that's why it's either I notch or I just mark. So it's going to be repeated on the other side here. So that is that. So I'm going to keep this aside now. Then I work on the front piece. So right now, in cutting the front piece, the first thing I'm going to do right here is to consider the length of the skirt. So as you know, the length I said is 28 inches, and is also the back piece and the front piece is going to have a band. So like I did in the front back piece, I had to remove 1.5 inches from it. That will be my band uh, allowance. So, and that is what I'm doing right now. You can see where I place my measuring tape. So I left 1.5 upward, that is to say I'm reducing 1.5 from the length. So by the time I take it down, I will have my 28 inches right here. Here is it. Then plus 1 inch for my hem allowance. So I have a total of 29 here. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to connect this line. Here is it. It's just to connect this line and cut this excess off. So I'm going to connect the lines, or to have a straight one, I'm going to measure what I have here. Like here I have 3.5. So I'm going to extend it to this point. I'll mark that same. I just want to be sure that it's not one side is not longer than one side. So I will quickly measure what I have here. I have the total of 30 inches here. So I'm going to take it to this other side to be sure it's 30 inches. Yes, it's 30 inches. So since it's equal, so what I'm going to do right now, from this point here, from this point, I have two 1/4 inches. So I'm going to extend it to this place. I mark that same 2 1/4 inches so that I can achieve a straight line. 2 1/4 inches, 2 1/4 inches, and also here 2 1/4. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to connect these lines together, after which I remove this excess here. So I'm going to connect this line together. Okay. Can you see? So right now I'm going to cut this part off. It's an excess. Okay. So right now I can now work on the front piece. So this is the length for the skirt. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, from the edge here, I'm going to mark 5 inches. I mark 5 inches here. So from that point, I'm going to mark another 5 inches. So after that, here I mark 2 inches. Then here I mark 5 inches. I mark 2 inches from this point. I'll mark 5 inches. So you can see the way I marked it. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to use my pin. So I'm going to use my pin to pin it down. So this 5 inches, I'm going to hold it like this. Can you see? Connect the 2 points or mark together. So I'm going to use my pin to hold it or to pin it down. So I pin it down like this. So I go ahead. I won't touch these 2 inches. So I will go ahead and connect these 5 inches mark together like this. So I pin it down at the upper part like I'm doing right now. Can you see? So I won't touch these 2 inches interval. I'll go ahead. The 5 inches, can you see? So I'm going to pin it down. So right now, you can see. So right now, I'm going to go to the machine. Now I'm going to stitch like 0.5. I'll just stitch it. Then here also, I'll go ahead, stitch 0.5. So I will stitch 0.5 because it has to be uniform. So that is the next thing I will be doing. So I'll be right back. So as you can see right here, I've stitched with 0.5. Can you see? So this is what I have by the time I open it. So that is for the front piece. Okay. So for the back piece, I've also I'm done with the darts. Can you see? So at times you can use 5.5. The other time in the I told you is 5 inches. You can extend it to 5.5. No problem. It's still okay. So you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to iron. So I will go ahead and iron it. So as you can see right here, I've ironed the front piece. Here is the front piece. You can see I've ironed it. You can see the box we are talking about, the box pleating we are talking about. Can you see? So, and I also went ahead to iron the back piece, especially on the dart side. Here is it. Can you see? Very smooth. So the next thing I will be doing right now is to cut the band. So in cutting the band, I will have to cut the interface of the band first. So, and before I do that, this front piece of the skirt, I will go to my machine again and stitch it like this. You can see it's already folded the way it's supposed to be. Can you see? So I'm going to run a stitch just to hold this down, to hold this down like this. So I will run a stitch. Then the next thing is to cut the band, the interface of the band, and also the band. So as you can see, I've stitched it. Can you see? So this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut the band. So here is the interface of the band. Now the length of the band is going to be on the base of the waist circumference. And you remember the waist circumference for this skirt is 26 inches. So I'm going to add extra 2 inches for my hook allowance. So 26 plus 2 will give me the total of 28 inches. So that is going to be the length of this interface. So I'm going to measure so that you can see. So I've already cut it out. So I said it's 28 inches plus the hook allowance. So here is it. So I'm going to cut the excess off. So here is the excess, so I will cut it off. So right now, having cut the interface, the next thing is just to place this interface on the fabric. So I'm going to place it right now and I iron it on it. So you place using the glossy side. This is the glossy side, the side that has gum. So I'm going to place it like this. And in placing it like this, you can see I didn't place it exactly on this. So I'm going to leave like 0.5 inch. You can see how I place it like this. So you can see the allowance. So this is where I'm going to stitch. So right now I'm going to go ahead and iron it to this fabric like this. So as you can see, I've ironed the interface to the fabric. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to cut these excesses here off. So I just need little here. So right now I'm going to refold it like this. Then I iron again. So I refold it. Then I iron again. So right now I went ahead to iron. Can you see what I have? So right now I'm going to place it back. Now I'm going to trace it like this and cut it out. So this is what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to cut the pocket. That's the next thing I will be doing right now. So I'm going to cut the pocket. So I'm going to make this edge to be of this width because this one is wider. Let me quickly go ahead and do that. Just little. I'm cutting out just little. So you can see. So the next thing, like I said, is to cut the pocket. So in cutting the pocket, it has to be two pieces. So right now, I'm going to fold this into two. So I fold it into two like this. So what you need to do is you don't need to stress yourself. In cutting the pocket, you just, after folding it into two like this, just place your hand like this. Okay? Place your hand like this. And you use your chalk to trace it like that. So I'm going to trace it using my chalk like this. Then I cut it like this. So right now, I will just take my chalk and I trace. So I just go ahead and trace it like that. So all I need to do right now is just to cut it, tracing the shape. You can see it's very, very easy. So here is my pocket. So I told you it's two pieces. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to place this one of these on the front panel and the other on the back panel. So in placing the pocket, what I'm going to do right here, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches here. So I come down by 1.5 inches. So right now from there, I'm going to place it like this. Sorry, this is the front side. Here is the front. So it's the front side. So I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to place it like this. Can you see the way I place it? So right now I'm going to stitch with 0.5 from here to here. Okay. After that, I will now turn it. It's going to be like this. Okay. Then I will also take the second piece. So the second piece, this other side, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches. So I come down by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to place it like this. Okay. So I'm going to stitch with 0.5 inches here. So that's the next thing I will be doing right now. I'll be right back. Now, as you can see right here, I've stitched it, both the front panel and the back piece. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to open it like this. So after opening it like this, I make sure that this one comes here, the excess. So right now I'm going to stitch this edge here. And that is what I will be repeating on this edge also. I will turn it like this, okay? So I run a stitch on this one here, down, from up to down. So as you can see right here, I've stitched it. Can you see how neat it is? So by the time everything is ready, this is how it's going to be. Very, very neat. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to place it. This is the back piece. This is the wrong side. Okay. Then this is the front piece. So wrong side to wrong side. That's the way I will be placing it. So I'm going to place it like this. Okay. So right now, I'm going to stitch the pocket together. Okay. Only the pocket together. So I run a stitch from here, tracing it up to this point. So as you can see right here, I've sealed the pockets together. Can you see? So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to bring it out like this. So I'm going to bring it out, making sure that it is well brought out. Can you see? So you could go ahead and iron it, and if you don't mind, just leave it like that. So like in my own case, I'm going to leave it like this. So right now I'm going to turn it. So you can see that I have is now on. This is right side to right side. After that, I've turned it. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to stitch the sides together. And how do I do that? What I'm going to do is this. So I'm going to run the stitch. I'm going to sew it. You can see this is the sides of the two pieces placed together. So right now with 0.5 inches or inch, I'm going to sew like this, round like this. Then I come back here, then I sew downwards to the down part of the skirt. After this, I will also close the other side. So here is the other side of the skirt. I will also sew it from the waist line downward with 0.5 inch. So right now I've sewn like this, like I just like I explained the other time. Sorry, I actually used 3/4 of an inch to sew it, because if you remember, when we were doing the measurement, I added 3/4 of an inch for the seam allowance, not 0.5, please. I used 3/4 of an inch to sew it, both sides. So right now you can see this space left. This is where my zipper is going to be. So I left like 6 inches or 6.5 inches for the zipper allowance. So I have like 6.5 inches for the zipper. So, but exact is going to be 6 inches, because I will be using 0.5 to seal with the band. So right now, the next thing I'm going to do right now, so I'm going to, this is our pocket. Our pocket is ready, and here is it. Can you see? So I'm going to bring it out. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to fix my zipper. After fixing the zipper, then I will go ahead to fix the band. Okay, so I will be right back. So as you can see right here, I've fixed my zipper. So I actually use the invisible zipper. So right now I'm going to pull it out. Okay, here is it. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to fix my band to it. So here is the band. So right now I'm going to place it like this. I'm going to fold it like this. So as I fold it like this, so I'm going to stitch this part first. I will stitch it like this. After stitching it like this, then I will reopen it. So after reopening it, so I will now place it on the skirt and seal. So I will be right back. So as you can see right here, I've sealed. So the next thing is just to turn it. So after turning it, so what I'm going to do right now is to place it on the skirt. So I'm going to place the one that has interface, the one on that I iron the interface to. You know, it's two side, one, two. But I will be using this. So the next thing, I'm going to open this zipper. So I'm going to start from this, not from the back piece, not the front piece. So from the back piece, so I'm going to fold the zipper in like this. Can you see the way I fold it in? So I'm going to run the stitch. So I place it like this, exactly where there is joining. So I place it very close to the last point, the zipper, where I want the zipper to start. So I place it like this, then run the stitch. So I will be running the stitch on the fabric, not on the interface. So here, very close to the interface, so I will run it round the other side, round the front piece. So I will be right back to show you what I mean. So as you can see, I've sewed to the other side. After that, the extra here, which I said is the hook seat, I had to sew from this to this point. Now this is the hook seat. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take away little from these excesses before I finally fold it in. So I'm going to take away these excesses. So after trimming it, so the next thing I'm going to do right now is to shift it in and I close it. So right now I'm going to open it like I'm doing right now. I'm going to bring it in like this. You can use not too sharp objects to push it out. So right now, I'm going to push this in. So I'm going to use my hand to push it like this, in like this. Then I'm going to lay it on it. Then I seal. So you can use your pin to do that, pin it down first, after which I will now seal it downward. Can you see? So you can use your pin to pin it down first. So I will go ahead, and if you don't want to take that time, just by the time I get to my machine, it will be easy as I push it in. So I seal. So that one, I find it very, very convenient than even pinning it down before I'm doing this just because of beginners, so that you can get what I'm trying to drive out. So I'm going to pin it down. So I'm going to run the stitch right on the threading, the thread which I ran before, so that in the front part it will be very smooth. So that is what I will be doing round. All right, our skirt is ready. You can see I've fixed the band. Can you see how neat it is, both inside and outside? Can you see? So this is perfect work. I want to believe that you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please kindly give it a big thumbs up. So the next thing I will just do right now is to attach my pin. Here is the pin, I mean the hook. Can you see? So right now, the longer one, this one we have to stay on the longer one like this. Okay, I will just use my hand needle to sew it. Then this other one will be on this. This is inner, then this is outer. I will just pin it. Then at the end of the day, this is how it's going to be. Okay, so I want to really appreciate you for taking your time to watch this video. And I also went down to hem the down part too. So the next thing I will just do is just to iron it. Then everything is ready and neat. So like I said, if this is your first time you watch my video, I will implore you to kindly click on the subscribe button below and you hit on the notification bell so that you can learn more. And make sure your notification bell is always on so that anytime I post a new video, you will get notified. Thank you very, very much. So if you have any question, don't don't be shy or don't feel reluctant in dropping your question in the comment section. Feel free to drop any question you have regarding this tutorial, and if you have any comment, go ahead. Thank you. I welcome your comment as well. So till we meet again, bye for now.